Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Before we begin, take a slow breath, find a comfortable place, and think about something very small. It may be in your pocket, in a shop near your home, or even in your mouth right now. It is soft, it is sweet, and you can chew it for a very long time. Yes, today we are going to discover the surprising story of chewing gum. Chewing gum seems like a simple modern product, but its story began thousands of years ago, long before factories, supermarkets, or colorful packages. It began in forests, near ancient fires, and under tall tropical trees. It is a story about nature, discovery, failure, and one very lucky idea. So relax, listen carefully, and let us travel back through time together. Our story begins thousands of years ago, in a cold part of Europe. There were no cities, no roads, and no shops. People lived close to forests and rivers. They hunted animals, collected plants, and made simple tools. One day, someone took a dark and sticky material from a birch tree. This material came from birch bark. People heated the bark carefully and made a thick black substance. It was useful as a kind of natural glue. It helped people join parts of tools together, but the material became hard when it was cold, so people put it into their mouths. They chewed it to make it soft again. Imagine that for a moment. A person sat beside a small fire, held a stone tool in one hand, and slowly chewed a small black piece of tree material. It was not sweet. It did not taste like mint or fruit, but this may have been one of the earliest forms of chewing gum. Scientists have found old pieces of this material with marks from human teeth. Some pieces are thousands of years old. Those small tooth marks tell us something wonderful. People have enjoyed chewing things for a very, very long time. But Europe was not the only place where people chewed natural materials. In ancient Greece, people chewed a soft resin from the mastic tree. A resin is a thick liquid that comes from some trees and plants. The Greeks liked its fresh smell. They may also have used it to clean their mouths and improve their breath. The word mastic is connected to an old Greek word about chewing. Far away in North America, indigenous people chewed resin from spruce trees. The resin was strong and sticky, but it became softer inside the mouth. Later, European settlers learned this habit from them. In many parts of the world, people found something in nature that they could chew. Different trees, different plants, different cultures, but the idea was often the same. Chewing could help people feel calm, keep the mouth busy, or make the breath feel fresher. Still, none of these early products were exactly like the chewing gum we know today. For that, we must travel to the warm forests of Central America. Imagine a deep green forest. The air is warm and wet. Birds call from the trees. Small animals move quietly under large leaves. Above them stands a tall tree called the sapodilla tree. The tree has dark green leaves, sweet brown fruit, and something very special inside its trunk. When a small cut is made in the tree, a white liquid slowly comes out. This natural liquid is called chicle. Chicle is soft, flexible, and a little like natural rubber for hundreds of years, and probably much longer. Maya people collected and chewed it. They knew exactly how to take chicle from the tree without destroying it. A skilled worker made careful cuts in the tree trunk. The cuts often formed a pattern like the lines of a large leaf. The white liquid moved down the cuts and fell into a container below. Then people heated the liquid until it became thicker. After that, it could be formed into pieces and chewed. The Maya did not buy gum in bright packages. Their chewing gum came directly from the forest. Later, the Aztec people also used chicle. But they had social rules about chewing it. Children could chew it, and some adults could chew it in private. People sometimes used it to freshen their breath, clean their teeth, or stop the mouth from feeling dry. Chewing gum was not only food, it was part of daily life, social behavior, and tradition. For a very long time, chicle stayed mostly in Mexico and Central America. The people there knew its value, but the wider world knew little about it. Then, in the 19th century, chicle traveled to New York, and it arrived with a man who had once been one of the most powerful people in Mexico. His name was Antonio López de Santa Anna. Santa Anna had been a soldier, a general, and the president of Mexico several times. His life was full of political change, battles, victories, and defeats. By the 1860s, he was no longer in power. He left Mexico and spent time in the United States. Santa Anna still dreamed of returning home and becoming powerful again. But he needed money. He believed chicle could help him earn it. At that time, rubber was becoming very important. People used rubber to make shoes, tools, waterproof products, and many other useful things. But natural rubber was expensive. Santa Anna thought chicle might become a cheaper replacement. Perhaps factories could use it like rubber. Perhaps it could make him rich. Perhaps that money could help him return to political life. It was an ambitious dream, but Santa Anna needed someone who could test the strange material. In New York, Santa Anna met a man named Thomas Adams. Thomas Adams had worked in several different jobs. He had been a photographer, a businessman, and an inventor. He liked experiments, and he was interested in new ideas. Santa Anna showed Adams the chicle. The material looked unusual. It was soft when warm, but harder when cold. Santa Anna explained that people in Mexico had chewed it for generations, but he did not bring it to New York as a sweet. He wanted Adams to turn it into rubber. Adams accepted the challenge. He believed the idea might work, so he took the chicle home and began to experiment. Adams tried many things. He heated the chicle. He mixed it with other materials. He pushed it, pulled it, shaped it, and tested it. He tried to make toys from it. He tried to make masks. He tried to make boots. Some stories say he even hoped to use it for bicycle tires. But every experiment ended in failure. The chicle did not act like normal rubber. It was too soft in some situations and not strong enough in others. Again and again. Adams tried, again and again. The material disappointed him. Weeks passed. Then months passed. The room where he worked became full of failed pieces. The great business idea was disappearing. Santa Anna finally lost interest. His dream of making money from chicle was over. He left Adams and later returned to Mexico. But Adams was still sitting with a large amount of useless chicle. What could he do with it? One day, Adams felt tired and frustrated. He had spent time, energy, and money on the strange material. Nothing had worked. He was ready to throw it away. Some stories say he was close to throwing the chicle into the East River. But before he did, something small happened. Adams entered a local shop. There, he saw a young girl buying a piece of chewing gum. At that time, chewing gum already existed in the United States. Some gum was made from spruce resin. Other gum was made from paraffin wax. Paraffin is a material that is also used in candles. These early gums were often hard, and they did not keep their flavor for long. Adams watched the girl buy the gum. Then he remembered Santa Anna. The Mexican general often chewed chicle. Suddenly, a new idea came into Adams' mind. Perhaps chicle did not need to become rubber. Perhaps it was already useful. Perhaps people would simply enjoy chewing it. Adams returned to his work, but now his goal was completely different. He cleaned the chicle. He heated it carefully. Then he rolled it into small pieces by hand. The first pieces had no special flavor. They were not bright, sweet, or beautiful. They were simple pieces of natural chicle. Adams took them to a local shop and asked the owner to sell them. The gum was called Adams' New York gum. A small sign explained that it could be chewed. Then Adams waited. Would anyone buy it? Would anyone like it? Or would this idea become another failure? To his surprise, people bought the gum. They liked its soft and flexible texture. Unlike some earlier gums, chicle stayed pleasant in the mouth. Soon, the first supply was gone. Adams had finally found the right use for the material. He had tried to turn chicle into boots, toys, and rubber products. But the answer had been simple all along. People wanted to chew it. Adams and his family began making more gum. At first, they worked in a small way. They boiled the chicle, rolled it by hand, and cut it into pieces. But demand grew. More shops wanted to sell it. More people wanted to buy it. In 1871, Thomas Adams received a patent connected to preparing chicle as chewing gum. He also developed machinery that helped produce gum more quickly. The small experiment was becoming a real industry. Soon, Adams added flavor. One famous gum used a strong licorice taste. It was called Blackjack later. His company made other kinds of gum. One was called Tutti Frutti. This gum became connected with another new idea. A machine could sell gum without a shop worker. Early vending machines were placed in busy public locations. A person put a coin into the machine, and a piece of gum came out. For people at that time, this felt modern and exciting. Chewing gum was no longer a strange forest product. It was becoming part of city life. But Thomas Adams was not the only person building the chewing gum business. Another important man was William Wrigley, Jr. He arrived in Chicago in 1891. He did not begin by selling gum. He sold soap. To encourage people to buy his soap, he offered small gifts. One of those gifts was baking powder. The gift became more popular than the soap. So Wrigley began selling baking powder instead. Then he offered chewing gum as a gift with the baking powder. Once again, something surprising happened. Customers liked the gift more than the main product. Wrigley paid attention. He understood that people really wanted gum, so he changed his business again. He began selling chewing gum. Wrigley was very good at advertising. He knew that making a good product was not enough. People also had to remember its name. He placed advertisements in newspapers. He used colorful signs. He gave free samples to many people. He helped make flavors like spearmint and fruit very popular. Chewing gum became easy to find. It appeared in shops, train stations, and city streets. Children bought it. Workers chewed it. Travelers carried it in their pockets. Something that began inside tropical trees was now sold across the United States. And soon, it would travel around the world. During the 2 World Wars, American soldiers often received chewing gum with their supplies. Gum was small, light, and easy to carry. Soldiers could chew it during long journeys or difficult days. Some said it helped them feel calmer. It also helped when the mouth felt dry. American soldiers shared gum with local people and children in other countries. For many people, this was their first experience of American chewing gum. A soldier might reach into his pocket. A child might watch with curiosity. Then the soldier would offer a small wrapped piece. The taste was sweet, the texture was strange, and the experience was new. In this way, chewing gum traveled through personal meetings, one small piece at a time. Then another kind of gum became popular: bubble gum. Bubble gum needed to be soft and stretchy. It had to hold air without breaking too quickly. Early inventors tried to create it, but many mixtures were too sticky. Then, in 1928, an employee named Walter Deemer created a better formula. Deemer worked for the Fleer Company in Philadelphia. He was not the company's main scientist. He was an accountant, but he enjoyed experimenting with gum recipes in his free time. One day, he made a mixture that could form large bubbles. The gum was pink because pink was the only food color available to him at that moment. The new product became known as Double Bubble. Its success helped make pink the traditional color of bubble gum. Children everywhere practiced blowing bubbles, small bubbles, large bubbles, and sometimes bubbles that suddenly broke across the nose and cheeks. Bubble gum turned chewing into a playful activity. For many years, most chewing gum used natural chicle. This created many jobs in Mexico and Central America. Workers called chicleros entered the forest during the rainy season. They climbed sapodilla trees with ropes and sharp tools. The work required great skill. A chiclero had to make careful cuts. If the cuts were too deep, the tree could be badly damaged. After collecting the white liquid, workers boiled it in large containers. The liquid slowly became thick and heavy. Then it was shaped into blocks and sent to gum factories. But as the chewing gum industry grew, companies needed more and more gum base. Natural chicle became expensive. It also took time for trees to produce enough liquid again. During the 20th century, many companies moved toward synthetic gum bases. These materials were made in factories. They were cheaper, more predictable, and easier to produce in large amounts. Today, many chewing gums use a manufactured gum base instead of natural chicle. However, some companies still make gum with real chicle. The old forest material has not completely disappeared. Modern chewing gum is made in many steps. First, the gum base is warmed until it becomes soft. Then sweeteners, flavors, and other ingredients are added. Large machines mix everything together. The gum becomes like a thick and heavy dough. Machines roll it into long sheets. Then it is cut into sticks, small tablets, or round pieces. Some gum receives a hard outer shell. Some gum has a soft center. Some tastes like mint. Some tastes like fruit, cinnamon, or other flavors. Finally, the gum is cooled, wrapped, packed, and sent to shops. The process looks very different from a Maya worker collecting white liquid in a quiet forest. But the basic purpose is still the same: to make something soft, pleasant, and safe to chew. Today, chewing gum is found in countries all around the world. People chew it for many reasons. Some enjoy the flavor. Some chew it when they travel. Some feel that chewing helps them stay calm or focused. Others use sugar-free gum after meals. Of course, gum can also cause problems when people throw it onto streets, chairs, or tables. A small piece can stay stuck to a surface for a very long time. Cities spend money removing old gum from public places. So chewing gum has two sides. It can be enjoyable in the mouth, but very unpleasant under a shoe. The best place for old gum is always inside a piece of paper, and then inside a waste bin. Now, think again about the simple piece of gum you know today. Its story did not begin in a modern laboratory. It began with ancient people chewing tree materials. It continued with Maya and Aztec knowledge. It traveled with a former Mexican president. It entered the workshop of an American inventor. And, for a long time, that inventor believed the material was useless. Thomas Adams tried to change chicle into something else. He tried to make it become rubber. But chicle already had its own special purpose. The failure was not really the end. It was the road to a better idea. That is one of the most interesting lessons in this story. Sometimes, when one plan does not work, it does not mean everything is lost. It may mean we are looking at the problem in the wrong way. The answer may already be in front of us, quietly waiting for us to notice it. So the next time you open a small package of chewing gum, stop for a moment. Think about the ancient tooth marks found on pieces of birch material. Think about the tall sapodilla trees in the green forests of Central America. Think about the skilled workers collecting white chicle. Think about Santa Anna carrying his unusual idea to New York. And think about Thomas Adams, surrounded by failed experiments, almost ready to throw everything away. One small moment of curiosity changed his life. It also helped create a product known around the world, all from a piece of tree sap that people had already been chewing for centuries. Thank you for spending this quiet time with me today. I hope you enjoyed the surprising journey of chewing gum, and I hope this story helped you listen to English with confidence. You are doing very well. Every story you hear teaches you new words, new ideas, and new ways to understand English. What story would you like to hear next? Please share your idea in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and return for another peaceful English story. Keep listening, keep learning, and be proud of every small step you take.